Now that how you want to come out and play. No. 98 win over the LA Clippers, who had beat them the last 4 times quite this season when they didn't show up at all defensively last game. Tonight, starting with Russell Westbrook, starting with Jamal Murray, starting with Peyton Watson. The Denver Nuggets, they lock in defensively. Don't know what time it is. Let's get it. The Denver Nuggets get a win 120-98 in maybe the most dominant defensive win of the season. Maybe the most dominant defensive win of the season. This is the first time all year the Nuggets have held a team underneath 100 points. This used to be a staple of the team. Coming out, having dominant first quarters, coming out, having dominant third quarters, and really putting the clamps on the game. And tonight, the Nuggets all the way around. They showed out and they did what they were supposed to do. The Denver Nuggets, how active were they exactly? The Nuggets tonight, they had 15 steals. 15 steals tonight. Now, the Nuggets turned the ball over 21 times. Just a lot of sloppy play. They forced 19 turnovers from the Clippers today. The Nuggets shot 55% from the field, 34% from three, 81% from the free throw line. They got to the line 32 times and made 26 free throws. Dominant game, getting to the rim, playing very well in the half court, and attacking. Now, this game, it had multiple different iterations to it. In the first quarter, the Nuggets, they came out smoking. Jamal Murray, first game back, starts the game off with a huge three to get the game going off right. Aaron Gordon gets an and one on the inside. Jamal Murray had back-to-back really good defensive possessions. And I want to say this. Jamal Murray is the one that got the energy started tonight. Jamal ends his game with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 8 of 16 from the field. He was 2 of 5 from 3. Love to see it. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Had a block and 4 steals. He had 5 stocks tonight. He was a plus 18 in the game today. Jamal Murray started the game off with a great closeout that led to a miss, and then also got a rip on Harden. Harden got past him. Jamal Murray didn't give up on the play. He was able to get his hand inside of the pocket, stole the ball from Harden, and then it led out to some transition points for the Denver Nuggets. Jokic also had an off-ball score, man. He continues to be the best off-ball big on the move in the NBA. Just a great little slip screen right by Ivica Zubac. Great one. He had a drive by Zubac where he got the ball at the top of the key. Jokic tonight, this is the kind of game that I would love to see more from the Nuggets and love to see more from Jokic. 30 minutes played, didn't play in the fourth quarter, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. He was 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from the three-point line, just 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 2 steals, but he was a plus 14 in his minutes tonight. Now, him and Murray had 11 turnovers between the team. Murray had 6. Jokic had 5. Just a little messy with the ball today. But overall, you love to see it, man. Joker didn't have to get into his all-time great bag to get the win. And this is the kind of wins that you want to get periodically through the year. Could you give Joker a chance to rest and I have to do everything? But then on the other end, the team gets to build into its confidence. I'm going to get to a couple players here in a minute. But really, shout out to Nikola Jokic. Shout out to Jamal Murray. Jokic gets a drive-by too. Aaron Gordon got an entry pass, went to the line. He was finishing well. Jamal Murray got another 3. Michael Porter started getting off. But then Russell Westbrook comes into the game, and the game really starts to flip the script. Russ leads right to an Aaron Gordon three-pointer, just a great pass from Russell Westbrook. Jokic gets to the line. Watson gets off in transition. Russ finds him, just a really good pass. And then Watson ends the quarter with the 2 as well. The Nuggets led the first quarter 29-22. It was a great first quarter, one of the best first quarters of the year. The Nuggets are now, I believe, 8-0 this year when they lead after the end of the first quarter. 8-0. When the Nuggets get off to a good start, Joker goes to the bench with the lead. So even if he comes back in the game with a minus, it's not like detrimental where it's like a minus 10, minus 12. It's at least like within range. That's a really good thing. And I think the Nuggets should be prioritizing. How do we get Jokic out of the game with a lead? That way when he comes back in, you either have the lead, the score is tied, or you're slightly down. Because you can survive for at least 4 minutes without giving up the lead in totality. But just a great quarter. But the second quarter was a different story. Now, I will say this. The second quarter started off really well. Julian Strawther gets a 2. They were getting stops. The lineup was Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, and DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan has solidified himself as the backup big for the team. Just unfortunate that the Nuggets have what is that? The Nuggets have 10 point or so they have $42.6 million tied into Zeke Naji and Dario Saric, and they're both completely useless on this roster. They have 4 years for Zeke, 2 years for Saric, and they have, again, of a limited cap, $42 million of their money is tied into players that are not playable on this roster. But shout out to DJ. Had some really big minutes off the bench. DeAndre Jordan, 4 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. 2 of 2 from the field. Had an amazing alley-oop from Jamal Murray. He did have a block and a steal, and he was a +8. He was a +8, and he played really good defense on Ivica Zubac. You're going to hear that throughout the day. Throughout this entire episode, you're going to hear about the Denver Nuggets defense, man. And DeAndre Jordan was a part of that. And I think he fits really well with the second unit. And maybe this is it. Maybe they just need to have a rim threat and a lob threat that can set screens. And then on the other end, can rim protect a little bit with some verticality. Good minutes from DJ. Jamal Murray looked really good in the pick and roll today with Jokic or with DeAndre Jordan. Just a great, great job from him today. The 3-guard look with Strawther, Russ, and Murray. You know what? I would say this. I can understand the concept, but I think they need to take a little bit of the Boston Celtics kind of play style. The reason I say that is like you need to be able to run, or the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeVert, with Garland, with Mitchell. What you want to do is you want to be able to get in transition and run, and you need to get the threes up. Now, Russ is obviously inherently a different player. Russ played, I think, maybe the Thunder game. The Atlanta Hawks game, this past game. I'm trying to think of all the games Russ has played this year. This might be his most important defensive game this year, but he's even has some other games where he's in, if it's not better versus stiffer competition and like a game that they had to win down the wire. But it might be the Thunder game, but this could be a close second. And Russ was incredible today, y'all. How good was Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook, 5 points, 1 rebound, and 5 assists. He was 2 of 9 from the field. He was 0 of 3 from 3. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, but he had 3 steals, even with he had 4 turnovers. Russ was a +21 tonight in 24 minutes. They dominated the Russell Westbrook minutes because of the effort and the defense and the runouts. Now, again, versus teams that have higher offensive ceilings, you're going to need more scoring from Russ. But tonight in particular, that's just not what you needed. And Russ just had a really, really solid game all the way across the board. And he just made some really, really impactful plays for this team. And you can just see, again, how the audience is feeding off of him, how the crowd, how the coaching staff, how the players are feeding off of him. They really love having Russ on this roster. But in the second quarter, so DJ gets a tip in. Russ had a turnover off a steal that he had. Aaron Gordon had a horrible possession where he had a solo ISO out of timeout that led to nothing. And then he had another shot that he threw up at the basket and, just didn't play well in that stretch of the game. But Aaron Gordon and I had 14, 6, and 2, 4 of 7, 1 of 2 from 3, and he was 5 of 5 from the free throw line. I want to say he's shooting like 85% from the line so far this year, and he was a +10. So, again, really good game, but this stretch wasn't great. The Clippers went on a 16-0 run. They took all the momentum away. At one point in time in the second quarter, y'all, I think this was with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. The Nuggets had scored 9 points in the quarter until like 3 minutes and 30 left. But then all of a sudden, Jokic makes a really huge 3, shooting 50+% from 3 this year. And then all of a sudden, the Nuggets start taking off. Michael Porter Jr. gets to the line. Christian Brown gets 2. Christian Brown gets another off-ball cut 2. And then Jokic hits a 3, and then he gets a dunk, Christian Brown in transition, and they scored 10 points in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And Jokic in the first half, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He was 3 of 4 from the field and 1 of 1 from the three-point line. They scored 19 points in the second quarter, but thankfully because of that last stretch, they were able to put it away. But really everything started in the second half, y'all. In the second half, it was a monster run. The Nuggets, they led halftime 48-47. They led after the third quarter 74-62. The Nuggets won the quarter 26-15, and they went on a 23-5 run in this quarter. And what they did was, and again, Michael Malone, what he does really well, and I suggested that what they can start doing, if they don't want to play Jokic on Zubac, they want to get rid of a pick and roll and that little short roll action because the rotations aren't good enough backside. What they can do is they can put Jokic on ISO. And again, ISO versus Harden, because the idea is that if you give up a step back three, the percentages on you giving that up time and time again in an ISO setting to bog down the rest of their offense, it works out for you in the long run. But in this instance, what they did was similar to the Pelicans adjustment. They will put Jokic on Herb Jones, or the Lou Dort adjustment. They will put Jokic on Lou Dort, or with the Thunder, or the Boston Celtics adjustment. They will put Jokic on Drew Holiday. Like, that's what they'll do with him when they want to kind of take you out of that pick and roll opportunity. And it's not even the initial action that's the problem. It's the actions behind that short roll pass that become the issue for the Nuggets. And they put Jokic on Chris Dunn and on Nicholas Batum, and it literally changed the game. Aaron Gordon had great post defense versus Ivica Zubac. Michael Porter Jr. comes down and hits a three. Jamal Murray gets a steal. AG gets to the line again. Michael gets to the line. Russ had a great defensive stop that led to free throws for Porter. James Harden turned the ball over in. Porter had a putback dunk. Michael Porter hits another three. It was a 21-5 run at one point. Michael Porter Jr. had 12 points inside of the third quarter. And again, Jokic, Russ, Porter, and Strother down the stretch of that quarter, they absolutely were dynamite. Just a great game, especially in that third quarter stretch. And the Nuggets win the quarter 26-15. And then in the fourth quarter, man, Nuggets run Russ, Murray, Julian Strother, Peyton Watson, and DeAndre Jordan. And the Nuggets take a 74-62 lead all the way to a 22-point lead. They take it to a 22-point lead. They take it to, I believe the score was 100 to 78. And just from the rest, Jamal Murray hits the midi, Julian Strother is scoring. Peyton Watson hits the three in the corner. Russ gets a two off a finish, like a little errant pass. Jamal Murray gets another two. It's just a great transition down the stretch of the game. So Russ gets 5 points. Julian Strother gets 12 points off the bench. Peyton Watson gets 14 points off the bench, and DeAndre Jordan gets 4 points. So that's your 9-man rotation right there. Jordan, Westbrook, Strother, Peyton Watson. But tonight, you get 26, you get 31, and off the bench, you get 35 points from your bench unit today. Again, in the actual minutes played, not in the garbage minutes, which again is phenomenal. And that is a part of why they were able to dominate this game like they did today. But just a shout out, great game, great defensive game. That's what it was. This is a game I think you can build momentum on. The Nuggets are 2-0 in their last two games. They're currently sitting at the 6th seed. They're the 6th seed. They're a half game out of the 5th seed. And again, y'all, they are one loss back. They're 3 wins and 1 loss back of the Mavericks for the 4th seed. And they're 2 losses back of the Rockets and the Grizzlies. So again, y'all, I put a little wager out with Ryan Blackburn and Locked On Nuggets, and I think they're going to go 9-1 over the next 10, including the Clippers game. And then all of a sudden, the season looks completely different. The Nuggets have the Kings next in Sacramento. Then they have that's on Monday, and then they have 2 more days off, and then they have the Portland Trailblazers on Thursday in Portland. Then they got the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans on Sunday, and then they got the Suns, and Cavaliers, and some really, really important games, y'all. But I think this is going to be a turning point, hopefully, for the Denver Nuggets for the rest of the year. But y'all, I think you should be excited about what you saw today. This is the team that came out with a mission. They wanted to play back-to-back, really, but they've been able to walk below their standard on the evening. And then Jokic having a 48-18-6 game, and then a 56-16-8 game or whatever. And then he's able to come back tonight, have 16-7. So you love to see it. Jokic didn't have to do everything in this win. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets defense. Michael Malone with a great adjustment. The bench unit, 35 points. Russell Westbrook, incredible defense. Jamal Murray, best two-way game of the year. Y'all, the Denver Nuggets, they on the way up. Y'all know what time it is. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Swipa Gang. See you on the other side.